I'm so excited to be back.
Yes, so am I. And who are you?
Oh, yes, I'm Celeste.
And I'm Morgan.
And we are Hexen Arcane. Why do you have that smile on your face? It's making me nervous. Yeah, you're like...
Because I'm super excited. I got a new weapon.
Oh, no.
Hey.
No,
Person
no.
who did this, really took their time on it. And
I'm
that's
even
really
worse.
Excited because
It's not enchanted, is it?
Not that I'm aware of. But it's beautiful. And it's so shiny.
Okay, let me see. Slowly. Hands where I can see them.
Do you remember that decrepit hatchet that I found?
Yes. That haunted murder hatchet.
Yes, this is it. This is it.
It's so pretty.
It's been restored. I told you it was pretty. Look at that.
That is beautiful. I don't trust you holding it, but it's beautiful.
It's mine. It's been treated and everything. And just so you know, in this... Oh. I don't know where he came from, but hello, little dude.
It's weirdly apt.
Him back
Anyway,
there.
we'll talk about that in a sec.
Yeah. It's been treated. So, with anti-rust stuff. So if it gets wet, do not touch your house.
Okay.
Because it'll blind you. Literally blind you. It's like an acid type dealio thing.
Okay.
From my understanding. At least it's what I was told. But look at that. I'm
sorry I'm a little bit jumpy with you and weapons.
I'm not even pointing it at you.
You're waving it around wildly.
No, I shouldn't. This thing is sharp. It's sharp. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
You know what I'm excited about?
What are you excited about, Celeste?
This movie we're showing.
Yeah, what's this movie?
The Bat!
Oh, is that why he's here?
Yes, it's the 1959 The Bat with Vincent Price.
It is, and the one actress,
Agnes Moorehead.
yes, she went on to play the mother of... What was her name?
Samantha.
Samantha in Bewitched. See, this is not good.
Yes, she years later was Endora.
Yes.
And that's pretty cool. She's a good actress. And actually, I heard that Vincent Price, he was excited to do this movie at first because he saw it as a play as a child and it terrified him. And so he was like, yes. And then he ended up being kind of disappointed in the final script because it wasn't very good.
And it's actually the 4th adaptation of the story.
Yeah, the 4th time it came on film, and I'm not sure if it's better or worse, but it's the most well-known.
I didn't think we got a Rotten Tomatoes on this one, did we?
No.
But okay.
Yeah, in the grand tradition of Hexen Arcane movies, it's probably terrible.
And probably a total waste of your time.
Yeah, I'll let you judge that. But Morgan, speaking of wastes of your time.
You know, I'm going to be honest, Celeste, I actually kind of missed her jokes. And I will never admit that again on film.
Morgan?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes!
How do you make bat stew?
Is this appropriate? We're in a pandemic. How?
You make them wait.
Oh! With what?
No, they get mad, they stew, because you make them wait.
That went way over my head. I was thinking, wait,
it's okay, you're
you wait
short.
them down. That was a terrible thought that crossed my head.
It was a terrible joke too, to be honest. Yeah,
it really was.
But
should we put them into the movie?
Yeah, we should probably start that. We have kind of an eclectic show for you tonight. We kind of all over the place, so that's exciting for us because we like being eclectic and all over the place, except when Morgan has an axe. No?
No!
Especially when Morgan has an axe.
Just wait till she sees the machete.
You guys, I'm gonna go get some armor on, and you can start this movie, and we'll just do that. Yeah.
Oaks, a house in the country which I rented for the summer. As an author, I write tales of mystery and murder. But the things that happened in this house were far more fantastic than any story I've ever had published. I brought a staff of servants from my city apartment, and my maid Lizzie Allen, who had been with me nearly 20 years. Lizzie?
Yes, Miss Cornelia.
Is the car ready?
It's at the door. Look, Miss Cornelia, them servants you brought from the apartment are talking about walking out on us.
Really? Well, I know they don't like it here, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Well, they've been hearing things about the killer that the police call the Bat and the murders that he committed here this past winter. Now people are saying that he's back again.
Well, how can they be sure of that? Has he committed another crime?
No, not yet, but that ain't saying that he won't. Here's something else. You've heard about the bats they have here. Animal bats, the kind that fly.
Yes, yes.
Look what it says in this magazine. This is a report from the State Health Department, and it says some of them bats is rabid.
Well.
And that ain't all. Now there's a rumor going around that it was the bat himself, the killer, I mean, that released the rabid bats in this neighborhood.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, the housekeeper, the cook, the butler, and the upstairs maid don't think so.
No, I can't help what they think. If hysterical nonsense like that can scare them out of their good jobs, it's their loss, not mine. Come on, Lizzie, I've got to get to the bank. Drive directly to Zenith Bank, Warner. I'm afraid we'll have to hurry. It's near closing time.
I'll get you there, Miss Van Gorder.
Thanks again.
Miss Van Gorder.
How do you do, Mr. Barry?
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You remember Lizzie Allen?
Of course. Hello, Miss Allen.
How do you do?
So you're spending the summer with us again?
Yes, yes. I've leased the Oaks, the home of your bank president, John Fleming.
I heard you had. I was surprised.
Why? Is there something the matter with it?
No. I was surprised because Mr. Fleming said he would never rent it.
Oh? Well, I rented it from his nephew, Mark Fleming, who has the real estate office here. He said his uncle would be gone the entire summer.
Well, that's right. Mr. Fleming's in the North Woods now with his physician, Dr. Wells. Oh, pardon me. Dale, I want you to meet my wife. We were married at Christmas time.
That must have been nice.
Believe me, it was. Oh, here she is. My wife, Miss Van Gorder, Miss Allen.
How do you do, Mrs.
How do you
Bailey?
do? Cornelia van Gorder.
Yes.
Oh, well, I've read every murder mystery you've ever written. I just adored that weird one, The Private Morgue of Dr. X, even though it gave me the shivers.
Only the shivers? Scared hell out of me.
Oh.
Well, I really mean that Miss Corney killed them off in that one.
When you refer to my books, please don't call me Miss Corney.
Pardon me, Mr. Bailey. Mr. Hines is here to see you.
Oh, yes. Excuse me, please. Don't be strangers now.
No, no,
I
we
should
won't.
say not.
Oh, so you're a bride.
Well, not quite.
Not since Christmas.
No, I'm sure I've seen you.
Well, I used to be my husband's secretary here in the bank.
Of course I remember.
May I welcome our most distinguished visitor back to Zenith?
Oh, that's very charming, but,
Lieutenant Anderson.
Lieutenant Anderson, of course. Chief of Detectives of the Zenith Police Department. This is Miss Allen.
Miss Allen.
How do you do?
Lieutenant Anderson is one of our favorite citizens. He's on the bank's board of directors.
Not bad for a policeman.
You must have made a good thing of it.
Well, I saved my money, if that's what you mean.
It's near closing time, and I've got some business in the safe deposit vault. Please come and see me, Mrs. Bailey.
Oh, I'd love to.
And you, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Nice to meet you. My, what a charming woman. She moved into the Oaks just the other day.
That house is a proper setting for a writer of mysteries.
Oh, it certainly is. Vic, what's the matter?
Come in here, both of you. Andy, we're in trouble. Wendell Hines came in to pick up $350,000 worth of bonds that we were holding as collateral for a loan. They were kept in our special vault. Mr. Fleming and I are the only officers of the bank who have access to that vault.
So?
The Hines bonds are gone. That's not all. Other negotiable securities are missing. From what I can gather, short of a careful check, the bank has been looted of over $1 million worth of securities.
You'll have to notify Fleming.
I wish I could talk to him. Unfortunately, he and Dr. Wells are deep in the woods. They can't be reached by phone.
What is it?
I thought I heard someone on the path coming from the lake. Had an idea it might be that guide of ours.
Oh, Sam won't show up until morning. It's a 20-mile canoe trip from here to civilization.
5 will get you 10. Sam has a message for me.
I thought you told him at the bank not to bother you.
I did, but they'll bother me. Doctor.
Yes, John.
What would you do for $500,000?
Anything short of murder.
Why not murder?
Too messy.
Too great a risk?
For $500,000? Yes.
I pinched $1 million from the bank. Well, I'm not kidding. I embezzled it.
Not that I think you wouldn't do it if you thought you could get away with it.
I got away with it. I'm not talking about currency. I took negotiable securities that could be converted into cash. I have the cash. In 10s, 20s, and 100s.
Well, I'm your doctor, not your lawyer. Why tell me this?
You'll find out why.
Who's going to take the blame for the robbery?
Bailey, the cashier. They'll never suspect me.
I like Bailey.
Well, so do I. I love the guy. I gave him his first chance.
He has a lovely little wife.
Charming girl. Was the best man.
Where's the $1 million?
In my family's tomb in Zenith. In the crypt with my father's casket.
I don't buy that, John.
No?
No. You forget that I had you in charge when you were a very sick man. When you raved in delirium. And I heard you talk about a hidden room. Now, where else could you put a hidden room except in that mansion you built? That white elephant you call the Oaks.
Look, everyone knows I have a bad heart. Now, who would doubt it if you wired the bank directors that my heart had failed? That I had fallen from a great height here in the woods. And that I was badly smashed up. You could ship the body back for burial and instruct them not to open the casket due to the condition of its contents.
Well, you realize, of course, that we'd have to have a body to put in that casket, which means that we'd have to deal with an undertaker at this end.
Of course.
Well, where do we get a body?
Couldn't we provide one of our own? How about Sam?
Sam, our guide?
Sam weighs about as much as I do. He's practically a hermit. He wouldn't be missed for a long time.
The local undertaker would know him.
Not if we made him look as if he'd been in a serious accident.
But if Bailey's going to take the blame, why'd he have to do this?
A jury might acquit him. In that case, I'd be a logical suspect. I could disappear, of course, but it's safer if they think I'm dead.
What if I don't go for this deal?
In that case, it would be too bad.
You mean you'd kill me?
What else could I do? Now that I've told you about the $1 million, I'd say you were shot in a hunting accident. Now, look, Doctor, if you can find another body instead of Sam's, it's all right with me. There's $500,000 in it for you.
I'll do my best.
I smell smoke.
So do I. What's that noise?
Look, Doctor, the woods are on fire. coming this way. We've got to get out of here. Out the back way.
We will. As soon as I provide that body we were talking about.
Yes, Miss Cornelia. There's a storm coming up, and it's gonna be a snorter. The wind nearly blew the door off its hinges.
Well, that noise blew my game higher than a kite. I think I've lost some of the cars.
Oh, I'll get them for you.
Oh, I see you found the paper.
Drat that paper boy, scooting by on his bicycle, just chucked it into a clump of bushes and let it go at that. For land's sake, Mr. Vic Bailey's been arrested.
Oh?
I think.
Victor Bailey, vice president and cashier of the Zenith Bank, was arraigned before United States Commissioner Alvin Fielding, charged with the embezzlement of over $1 million. I can't believe Vic Bailey had anything to do with that robbery. Oh, well, I see our landlord is home again.
Landlord?
Mr. Fleming. Dr. Malcolm Wells is back in town with the body of John Fleming, president of the Zenith Bank, who was killed in a forest fire. Mr. Fleming will be laid to rest in his family's tomb on Friday.
And I hope he stays there.
Well, why shouldn't he?
Well, this is his house. And ever since he died, some funny things have happened here.
For instance?
The housekeeper, the cook, and the butler said that they heard strange noises at night. And the upstairs maid swore that she met a man without a face coming up the back stairs.
Oh, so that's why they quit and left me to run this place without a staff.
They didn't tell you, Miss Corney, but the truth is they was scared to stay.
But you're still here, Lizzie. Haven't you seen anything?
No. No, and even if I had, I ain't afraid of ghosts. They're afraid of me. Honest, Miss Corney, a spiritualist told me once that ghosts was allergic to me. But this bat feller they keep talking about in the paper, I guess he'd be different.
No, I don't think you'd have the same effect on him.
Oh, dear. What are they trying to do? Drive people away from this part of the country?
Why, what does it say about the bats?
His specialty seems to be killing women. My goodness, 2 of them in one night. All his victims died the same way, like their throats had been ripped open with steel claws.
That's a charming little caper. I'll have to try it sometime.
In a book. That ain't nothing, just something bumping against the house. That's just the wind banging a door. Pay no attention to it. Listen to this. One of his victims, who lived for a moment after she was found, described the bat as a man without a face. Honest, Miss Corney, I think that woman must have been exaggerating.
We're back. So back. I actually really think this movie is fun. You know, a scary killer attack bat. What's not to love?
Oh, yeah. It's like one of those movies I like to just sit back and watch it. It's a chill movie for me. That's what I like.
Yeah, it is. It is chill, but it's also interesting and like, I mean, I can see how the screenplay would be terrifying.
Oh yeah, especially a small child. And bats are so common. You see them flying around at night all the time. And whoa.
So it's like one of those fears that's like, okay, if you're scared of bats, that's like a pretty intense fear to have because you're going to see bats like you go outside. I am not personally scared of bats. I love bats. Are you holding that thing again?
I'm holding it safely.
Okay, do you remember that time where you had the bad dream and you came after me with an axe while you were sleepwalking?
No, I don't. Do you know why?
Because you were asleep?
Because I was asleep, Celeste.
Okay, but I was not asleep, and I remember.
And I'm very sorry that you remember that. But this is my hatchet.
Okay,
Fine.
Lizzie, settle
Fine.
down.
Fine.
Morgan Parker took an axe, gave her sister 40 whacks. I don't know. That's all that's going through my head right now. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
Speaking of crazy,
Yeah.
I took a little road trip today.
You did?
I did.
Where'd you go?
So, in my vast internet travels, I came across something interesting. And I did not know that Walworth County, at one point in time, for actually almost 100 years, had an insane asylum.
Really?
And as a matter of fact, you and I have actually both been patients there.
Really?
It is now Lakeland Hospital.
Oh.
And while I was studying a map of the grounds, I came across something interesting way back in a field. And
yeah, let's put them into this clip.
okay, so we today are going on a little adventure here. Going off-roading, well, kind of off-roading. And I got a surprise to show you guys. So, back in the 1800s, this used to be, I believe it was almost over 100 acres. I do know that for a fact. A working farm, aka a poorhouse, aka an asylum, aka home for the feeble-minded, disabled, and criminally insane. We are out in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, and I am going to take you guys to the cemetery. Let's see where this takes us. Oh man, I don't know about this. Dump site. Okay. So, on this adventure today, I discovered the Walworth County Insane Asylum Cemetery. And this is where they put the people whose families didn't claim them, or they had no names or nowhere to go back to, which was quite common back in the day, unfortunately. There was one on the memorial that got me. It was a 25-year-old woman, and she had arrived at the asylum in January 1893, poor, ill, and pregnant, because not only did they take people here that were criminally insane, disabled, feeble-minded, couldn't care for themselves, they also took poor and alcoholics and addicts and whatnot there too. So it was a wide array of people, and this was not only an insane asylum, but it was a working farm. So they said it was the most successful in the state for the day and age, and reason being is they actually gave the patients jobs. They weren't confined to rooms, wards, things like that. They had people that would garden, do laundry, cook, and bake and whatnot. And it's kind of funny because that's a reference in, if you ever watched American Horror Story Asylum, you'll hear Sister Jude say that we keep them working here. They make the bread, they do this, they do that. It was a reference to the Walworth County Insane Asylum. So back in this cemetery here, what did I read? I read that there was at least 198 people buried there. And if you read on the very bottom of that plaque that I show you, it says, "and probably unknown persons." There's estimates of up to 300 people there. infants, children even, too. If there were orphans that had nowhere to go, they would send them there, too. So it wasn't just people that needed help that lived there. So I thought that was pretty cool. It ran until, I believe, let me see here. Let me check my notes. In 1881 was when it was deemed the best in the state. And it was a 406-acre farm. Even those with significant mental illness or physical disabilities did the laundry, sewed, and performed other household chores. I think that's pretty cool, because if you research asylum history back in the day, they didn't really do that kind of stuff for people. And it gave these people a purpose. And some of them even had parole privileges. Like, they could leave the grounds. The doors were unlocked. They could come and go. And in 1879, they had finally built separate sleeping quarters, which would be the men's ward and the women's ward. So that's pretty cool. And they didn't have an infirmary there, of all things. So if somebody got sick, they died. A lot of people did die there. And it wasn't from mistreatment, it was that they couldn't heal them. So 1917 was when they finally built the hospital. Trying to remember when it shut down. I believe it was like 1981 was when they finally closed the psychiatric portion of it. When you go back in the field there and stuff, though, you can still see where the old fence was, where they divided stuff off. It's pretty cool. So go check it out.
That's just that heavy tapestry at the top of the stairs.
I know. I've heard it before on a windy night. That sounds as if there was someone on the stairs. I know there isn't. At least there shouldn't be.
There ain't. Them's just the noises you hear in any old house on a windy night. It says here that the bat never leaves no fingerprints.
That's understandable. Having no face, he probably has no fingers either. Lizzie! And that, I suppose, is the cat dropping its dentures.
No, I don't think so. But I think it's something should be looked into. Now, who chucked him down here?
The wind, I hope. There must be a window open up there. No, Lizzie. Let him lay. Let him sleep it off. I hope the power lines don't go down, put the lights out. Now, we'll check the windows in the living room and draw the curtains, and then we'll go to bed.
Yes, ma'am. I won't be a minute.
Gordy! Oh!
What's that?
Oh, when I went to get the paper, I turned the latch off. I forgot to turn it on again. He's out there. He was coming in. He might have got you.
Oh, but he didn't, and he's still out there, thanks to you. Now, you hurry now, and we'll call the police.
No, I won't leave you, Miss Corny.
Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am, I'm okay.
Okay.
Operator?
Give me the police department, please.
Zenith Police Department.
This is Cornelia van Gorder. I'm living at the Oaks.
We know about that, Miss Van Gorder.
Just a moment ago, a man tried to force his way into this house.
You're not alone there, are you? What about your servants?
Well, I have none except my chauffeur, and he's away. He won't be back until the morning. Now, there's only 2 of us here tonight, and we're going to lock ourselves in my room. Now, if any of your men see anything, will you have them call me?
I'll send officers over there right away.
Oh, thank you very much. Come on, Lizzie. We're going to sleep in my room. Nothing can get at us in this room now. I think this door seems good and solid.
Like the door to a tomb.
I think that couch will be comfortable. There's some extra bedding, you know.
Yes,
closet. Let's see now. Huh? No bolt. Well, that's not so good. What's that for? That, my good woman, is a booby trap. If anybody tries to open this transom, this will be knocked off, and we'll hear it fall.
I forgot my night things, my robe, my gown, and my slippers. I'll go get them now.
Now, wait a minute, Lizzie. I'll go with you.
Now, don't you bother, Miss Cornelia. My room's just down the hall.
Lizzie, I told you to wait.
It's all right. I'll only be a second. Get in here. Get in here.
Yes?
Miss Van Gorder?
Yes?
Zenith Police Department. There's a police car just outside your house, and the officers in it have reported that there's no sign of a prowler anywhere on the grounds.
Oh, the man's inside now. He's in the hall, just outside my bedroom. Have your men break through the kitchen door and search this place from top to bottom.
Okay, Miss Van Gorder. Sit tight.
I will. I have a gun, and I know how to use it.
Relax, Lizzie. The police did a good job. They couldn't find anybody in here.
But we both saw him, Miss Cornelia.
All right. So he got away. But there are men on guard outside, so just try and get some rest. There's nothing can get at us here. You've had a nightmare.
Maybe I did. But there was a bat in it, and it bit me. It flew in that closet.
Oh, good gracious, Lizzie, you're right. Operator, will you get me Dr. Malcolm Wells' office, please? No, I don't know his number, and I have no phone book up here, but this is an emergency. Will you connect me with his office, please?
Oh, dear, I'm going to get the rabies.
Hello?
Hello? Dr. Wells' office?
This is a call service. Dr. Wells is out at the moment, but if you'll give me your name and number, I'll try to locate him.
Well, this is Miss Van Gorder of the Oaks. My maid has just been bitten by a bat that may be rabid, and she must have treatment as soon as possible. And I was told that Dr. Wells was the nearest physician.
I'll try to find him for you, and if I can't, I'll send you another doctor.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Oh, he's out on a case.
Oh.
Oh, I hope it's not a delivery. A baby, I mean. They can be terribly complicated.
It never bothered me none.
Oh, Lizzie, you never had a baby.
Of course I didn't. That's why they never bothered me.
Oh, does it hurt, huh?
A little.
Dr. Wells? Are you there, Dr. Wells? Are you there, Dr. Wells? This is the operator. Your call service is on the wire. It's an emergency.
This is Dr. Wells.
This is your call service, Doctor.
Oh, hello. I was just doing an experiment. I left the receiver off.
That's what I thought, but I kept trying. Miss Van Gorder at the Oaks called and said that her maid had been bitten by a bat, and she's afraid it might be rabbit.
What? Oh, all right. Tell her I'll be right over there.
Who's there?
Dr. Wells.
Come in.
Good evening.
Oh, I'm so glad they found you, Doctor.
Well, I reached my office shortly after you called. How is your maid? Is she in any pain?
No, she doesn't seem to be.
Did the bat get away?
No, I believe it's still in my bedroom.
Oh, good. I'll want to examine it. There you go, Miss Allen. Now you'll feel better?
Doctor, have I got the rabies?
Well, I can tell you better after I've examined the bat's brain under a microscope.
That thing's got a brain?
Oh, you'd be surprised. Well, where is it?
I think the little darling is in that closet.
Oh. You know, it's a pity you leased this house, Miss Van Gorder.
Why a pity?
Well, my dear lady, I don't want to alarm you, but...
Oh, well, after tonight, nothing can alarm me.
Yes, I understand. It must have been terrifying. So many unexplainable things have happened here. There's something about the place. Your servants must have sensed it when they walked out on you. An apprehension of disaster. Well, let's see. Aha! Yes. There he is. All right, now, take it easy. Nobody's going to hurt you. Quiet now. Quiet. He looks quite normal. Doesn't seem to be sick at all.
Oh, ain't that nice? I've been worried about him.
Well, you should be. From his appearance, I'd say that he doesn't have any infection. In which case, you've had a narrow escape. Now, you take one of those tablets I left for you, and I'll guarantee you a good night. And I'll drop in on you tomorrow.
Oh, thanks for everything, Doctor.
Now, don't worry, I can find my way out.
Oh, I know you can, but do let me help you.
Oh, don't forget that once I'm gone, you'll have to climb those stairs alone.
Oh, I'm all right. I'm armed now.
Can you shoot one of those things without shutting your eyes?
Oh, Doctor, there are guns in every book I've ever written. I don't write about things I'm unfamiliar with. Lock the door, Lizzie.
Good night.
Yes, ma'am. Good night, Doctor.
Yeah, we're back.
Yep, we're back.
Morgan, that was super cool. I love learning about that insane asylum, and I had no idea that the hospital there is now the asylum. And actually, that's right by Bray Road. So
it is. I saw the Bray Road Beast statue on my way out there.
Do you think that the Beast of Bray Road was an escaped patient? Who turned into a cryptid? Probably not. It's kind of a stretch, isn't it?
It's one of the things we don't talk about.
Okay, we'll not talk about that then.
We don't talk about that.
But anyway,
anyways,
it's cool that it's right down, like right. You have to drive on Bray Road to get there.
It's in the cornfields. Like there is farmland, except for the courthouse. Well, the police department and the jail's right across the street too. That was always a show when I was there. You know, who's they bringing it down?
And so we told you we were kind of all over the place. So this was a story that Morgan's been really trying to convince me not to tell everyone.
No, it doesn't need to be told.
But I decided I really wanted to tell this story, so she was like, fine. So recently I went to Hawaii. Morgan was still not allowed to leave the continental U.S., so
but
she wasn't
you did
able.
Figure out a way though to get me there.
Yes, so she wasn't allowed to leave the continental U.S., and if she was seen there, you know, her picture is still up everywhere in like, don't let this person in certain places.
They call that an APB, right?
Yeah, I don't know legal terms. You probably know.
I don't know. America's Most Wanted, is that what that is?
Yeah, something like, well, anyway, it's, you know, legal jargon about
Public
pending
enemy?
charges and
Public
all this
menace?
stuff. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, it's getting resolved. She'll be able to travel soon. But I thought of a fun way to bring her there so she could see some of it with me. And Morgan disagreed that it was fun, but she did learn how to hula. So let me show you this quick clip.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Alright, so what you saw there, it looks like a sea lion show. Was actually, I swapped out Morgan for the sea lion.
Yeah, she did.
And she learned real quick how to perform. So
I did.
Yeah, she did those tricks. You know, she did the, like, you didn't
out
get
of fear and duress.
They fed you fishes.
They were wrong.
Anyway, I picked the wrong time. I didn't know there was a show coming, so she had to think on the fly there. But she did the little, like, and she did the little salute.
You know what I got?
Little twirl. Yes.
It's beautiful, though.
She got her pretty necklace.
I did. I got a very pretty necklace.
And as much fish as she could eat.
They didn't taste good.
Yeah, she was pretty mad at me over that.
I like salmon. I just made sure that I puked in her suitcase.
She did. And, yeah, it was... Yeah, let's just say not much survived that trip. I didn't bring a lot back with me.
No.
But it was fun, and she did a great show.
And here's the twist. I had to ride back in that suitcase.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't think that one through.
Yeah. Cut my nose off to spite my face.
So what I did when I swapped the sea lion back, it just made her a teeny tiny little sea lion, so then I had to spend the trip catching teeny tiny fishes, and it was a lot of work.
You fed me Swedish fish.
One time.
The whole trip. The whole trip in your carry-on.
And some algae and...
Don't ever put me in a Tupperware container again. Please.
It was clean.
Not after the algae got in there.
No, not that. Yeah, so we realized that this was probably not the best mode of travel or sneaking her in and out of places she's not really supposed to be. But we did learn a lot from the experience.
At least she didn't turn me into a shoes.
Can I see that twirl again, Morgan? Can you show the people? See? Isn't it beautiful?
I'm going to forget it real quick.
Anyway, so watch more of this movie and we'll be back soon.
Accident?
No, the wind blew him down.
Oh.
I think.
Oh. Did you know that young Mark Fleming leased you this house without notifying his uncle?
No, I didn't.
Well, it doesn't matter now. John Fleming is dead and Mark's his heir. But if John were alive, he would warn you to leave here, Miss Van Gorder.
Really?
Yes. It's been a tragic place for anyone who ever lived in it. Well, good night.
Good night, Doctor.
Who's out there?
Nobody you need worry about, Doctor.
Oh, it's Andy.
Oh. That's right. Oh, good evening, Miss Van Gorder.
Good evening, Lieutenant.
Somebody sick here?
My maid was bitten by a bat.
Oh? A rabid bat?
Well, I'll know for sure when I get to my lab. I caught the bat.
It happened indoors?
In my bedroom, yes.
How'd it get in?
Well, there are many ways a bat could get in a house.
You ought to know. I spotted this hole in the window the minute I got here.
Why?
That's where the two-legged bat got your door open.
Miss Van Gorder told me that she phoned headquarters at Zenith.
Yes, I phoned twice. The second time was after the prowler got in the house.
Weren't you at headquarters, Andy?
No, but they contacted me.
An officer came and searched the house from top to bottom, but they couldn't find the bat.
You better have this window fixed tomorrow.
Oh, yes, I certainly shall.
Listen, I'd better be going. I'm due in surgery at 8 o'clock in the morning. Good night.
Good night, Doctor.
There will be a man patrolling the grounds all night, Miss Van Gorder.
Oh, thank you.
And nobody inside, Andy?
Why should there be?
Well, how do you know but what the bat is hiding somewhere in the house?
I'm quite sure he isn't in the house, Doctor. Not now. Good night.
Good night.
Hello, Mark. Well, congratulations. Real estate business must be picking up. New office, new furniture.
New deal. How do you like it?
Looks expensive. Are you squandering your inheritance?
Oh, I haven't got it yet.
Well, the paper says John Fleming left his entire fortune to you.
Funny thing about that entire fortune is that we can't find it.
No kidding.
Oh, all Uncle John had in his bank account was a couple of $100. And his safe deposit box was empty.
If we don't find that missing million, mine will be empty, too.
How come?
Well, all my savings were invested in Zenith Bank stock. The examiners won't certify the bank as solvent until those stolen securities are found. So the stockholders have voted an assessment that will wipe some of us out. It's a since those securities have been converted into cash. And if I can't find that cash, I'm sunk.
Well, where are you going to look for it, Andy?
Here in Zenith. Your uncle wouldn't take $1 million on a hunting trip, would he?
You suspect Uncle John? Why, Andy, he founded the Zenith Bank. That'd be like robbing the family tomb.
You think he wouldn't?
Well, besides, Vic Bailey's fingerprints are all over the vault. Now, they didn't find any of Uncle John's fingerprints.
Because he wiped him off.
Can the defense prove that?
They'll try to. Judy Hollander, Bailey's secretary, is a defense witness. And they believe her testimony will have a powerful effect on the jury.
Oh, well, she has a powerful effect on me. Judy's a doll.
Here's the book you mentioned, Judy.
Your newest one.
Yes, it's just been published. You can have that copy if you wish.
Oh, it's a first edition and you signed it.
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much.
May I serve tea now, Miss Van Gorder?
Yes, please do, Warner.
Thank you.
I see you've engaged new servants.
Yes, of course.
Well, how did you persuade them to live in this house?
Well, Jane Patterson, my new housekeeper, knows this house better than you do, Doctor.
Oh?
She worked for John Fleming. And Warner was my chauffeur.
Chauffeur turned butler?
Yes, it's incredible. He can play any part at a moment's notice. Did you get a plumber, Warner?
No, we can't get a plumber for 3 days, madam.
What about that leaking pipe? The basement will be flooded in 3 days.
The pipe is no longer leaking.
You mean it's dried up of its own accord?
No, not quite. I packed the elbow where the water was coming out.
Packed the elbow?
Thank you, madam.
Now, there's a character.
How long did you say that he worked for you as chauffeur?
About 3 months.
Well, I hope he doesn't have a police record. My dear Dale, it may interest you to know that the last night of his life, John Fleming told me that he loved your husband like a son. If Fleming were alive today, he would be fighting to prove Vic's innocence.
Could Mr. Fleming prove his own innocence?
Miss Van Gorder, can there be any doubt about it?
There will be when Miss Hollander testifies at Vic's trial.
Oh? You know something that we haven't heard yet, Judy?
Something I saw with my own eyes.
She's not permitted to say what it was.
My dear girl, I wouldn't think of asking her. But let's assume for a moment that Fleming did steal the $1 million. Now, what would he do about it? Where is it?
Hidden someplace where he could lay his hands on it without getting caught in the act. Now, if I was writing this, instead of living in the middle of it, I'd hide it right here in this spooky old house.
Under a loose floorboard or up a chimney?
If Mr. Fleming had the nerve to steal $1 million, he'd make his plans well in advance. I'd say he'd prepare a place to hide it. Possibly when this house was being built. Now, I rented this place from Mark Fleming, his nephew. I wonder if he'd have the floor plans.
I'll ask him.
Yes. Lizzie, will you bring Mrs. Bailey the phone? Oh, you ask him now. Okay. His number is Summit 7537.
Oh, thank you, Lizzie. Summit
7537.
Not bad, eh, Andy? That means new business. Now, you see, somebody wants to buy a house. Mark Fleming speaking.
Oh, hello, Dale.
Well, hang on a minute, honey, while I see if I have him. It's Dale Bailey, all excited. Miss Van Gorder wants to know if I have the floor plans of the Oaks. Now, what would she want with the floor plans?
Well, she suggested to me that your uncle might have hidden the bank loot there. Are the plans here?
Well, they're somewhere in the house itself. Wait a minute, there is a place where Uncle Johnny might have kept those blueprints.
What place?
Well, I heard him talk about it a good many years ago. I can't be sure of the exact location. Anyway, I don't think the old boy had the guts to steal $1 million. But if I find those plans, I'll let you know, Andy. Hello, Dale. Look, honey, I haven't seen those plans since I was a kid, but I'll come over tonight and maybe we can find them.
Thank you, Mark. We'll expect you. He seems to think they're here in the house somewhere. He's coming over tonight.
Well, that's good. Dale and Judy are my house guests for the weekend. Would you like to have dinner with us tonight?
Oh, no, thank you. I couldn't. I still have a few calls to make. You know, if Judy's testimony is going to clear Vic Bailey and implicate John Fleming, others may get the idea that there's buried treasure in this house. Don't even mention your testimony until you're actually on the stand.
Oh, I won't.
That's a smart girl, Judy. And a very lovely girl. Well, good afternoon, ladies.
Goodbye,
Doctor.
Dr. Will.
Come on, girls, let's go.
I realize I should be putting them down on paper. Weren't you your husband's secretary, Dale?
Yes, I was.
Do you take shorthand? Well, my dear, if you'd like to have your mind occupied, I want you to work with me while I write the story of this fantastic criminal, the Bat. Thank you. It's really nice. A good dinner, Lizzie, as usual.
Wonderful. Oh, what a lovely piece of silver. It's an original, isn't it?
Yes, they still use them in England for buffet breakfasts. Some hot water in the bottom. Keeps your kippers hot, your sausages, and your scrambled eggs. Interesting. It's very useful, really nice. Clock hasn't struck the hour in the last 10 years, if I'm to believe what Mark Fleming told me.
Why is it angled away from the wall like that?
I don't know. Somebody must have moved it. Lizzie, very likely when she was dusting.
Wait a minute. Did you know there's a door in this paneling?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my gracious, so there is.
Maybe it opens to a secret passage.
Oh, certainly to a secret something. Who knows, girls? Who'll be about to stumble on that missing million? Oh, this is... There's a panel. There must be some gimmick to it. There always is. Yes, it moves. It moves. It moves. Oh.
Calling car 11. Calling car 11. Proceed to the Oaks in Zenith Township immediately. A homicide has been reported.
Okay. Proceeding to the Oaks. Notify the county coroner, Dr. Wells. Tell him to come to the Oaks at once. Horrible.
As if his throat had been torn by some creature with fangs or claws.
That's his sign. We found it on the others he killed. I'd hoped those reports that he was up to his old tricks again were pure imagination, but apparently they're based on fact. He's come back. Back to the scene of his kills. Yes, that's who I mean. That's who did this. The Bat. Who found Mark?
We all did. And his Dale and Judy and I. Lizzie was in the dining room. This is my new housekeeper, Jane Patterson. You know, she worked for John Fleming.
I know her. Where were you, Mrs. Patterson?
In the kitchen, cleaning up. I cooked the dinner tonight.
Did you know that the secret closet was here?
No. It was behind the grandfather's clock.
Well, it was I who found it, really. Noticed the clock had been moved and the door wasn't quite closed.
I'll get it.
You know, I've had that, like, sea shanty stuck in my head.
What did they give you?
They didn't give me anything. Speaking of which, we're filming this on 420. Are you celebrating? Anyway, we got bored and we decided to play dress up with Dilly here. So, yeah, we just found, like, well, we still haven't totally unpacked in our new house yet. So we found boxes of stuff and we decided to go through them. And I found one of Morgan's bras, and it's a really cute shirt. And then I can't believe you just. I don't know whose hat it was, but I kind of want to do a dance.
Oh my god!
Hi, I'm Morgan. I think I killed Morgan.
Oh no!
And she's apparently some kind of lady in mourning or something. I'm embarrassed is what I am. Why are you embarrassed? It's super cute. That's my unmention. It's very mentionable now. Oh my god. For all the world to see. Anyway, it's cute.
I hope this doll gets you in your sleep.
That's scary.
I found this haunted doll. I think it's haunted. It might not be haunted. But...
It looks pretty on it. It's looking at me real weird. Should we introduce it to Billy? He's got a little sombrero.
He's traumatized. He doesn't see the... Oh my god.
So, yeah, like I said, eclectic show. Getting a little goofy here, not for any particular reason. We were just... I don't know, I saw stuff and I was like, we should play dress up, and she didn't know what I was talking about, so she said okay.
It's a good hat. This is a good hat.
It looks very nice.
This
Wait,
is
wasn't that one of Mother's old hats?
Probably. I don't care. I'm borrowing it. I'm borrowing it. She's territorial about her stuff, but she's gone, so it don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's ours now,
I
so...
see Dilly's got a sombrero.
Yeah.
And he's still wearing his scarf.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, this movie's fun. I'm still enjoying it. Yeah, I wish I remembered another joke.
I do too right now. So bad.
And I think this is a cute look on me.
It's very cute.
I'm going to be borrowing more of your stuff in the future.
Just please don't put it on display for the public.
I didn't want them to think it was mine. That's embarrassing.
Oh my god! Because that would be embarrassing, right, Celeste? Right?
Think we need some tea.
I need a lot of tea. I want to be drowned in tea right now.
Anyway, I'm feeling a little giddy from the lack of tea, so we should probably get back to the show. So you guys, yeah, watch more of this movie, and then when we come back, I have a cool conspiracy theory that I'm going to talk about for a little bit, because I've like gone down a little conspiracy theory thing, and I'm going to talk about it, and then we're going to discuss it. So, yeah.
Who is it? Mark Fleming.
As coroner, you saw the same wounds on the others. How long's he been dead?
Oh, I'd say about a half an hour. Do you believe it was the bat?
That's a bat's trademark.
Perhaps he's still in the house.
That's possible.
Why should he be?
Because he's looking for something, and like you, he believes it's here. And he's a persistent killer. I would advise you to get out of this house as quickly as possible, notwithstanding our expert police protection. Have you called the morgue?
They're on their way here.
Oh, good. I want to examine the body before they get here. May we take it into another room?
Yes, to the sunroom in the back.
Thank you. Give me a hand.
Excuse me. Oh, Warner, where have you been?
Well, madam, has it been an accident?
There's been a murder. Mark Fleming, the young man from whom I leased this place, was killed here tonight.
They know who did it?
Well, they believe it was the bat.
I'm sorry I had to use the front door, Miss Van Gorder, but I forgot my keys, and when I rang the bell at the kitchen door, there was no response.
Oh, this is Warner, Lieutenant. He's my butler. He was my chauffeur.
Why'd you promote him?
Well, it's very difficult to find a butler. They don't like service in the country.
Have you been a butler before?
I've served in many capacities, sir, but this was my night off, and I forgot my keys.
I heard that part. What time did you leave the house tonight?
Oh, about 6:30. I had dinner at Wiley's Roadhouse.
Can you prove where you spent the rest of the evening?
I can try.
Try hard. And don't leave the house. I'll get to you later.
Very good, sir. I shall be in my room, Miss Van Gorder, if you need me.
Yes, Warner. Surely you don't think he's...
Warren and I have met before. I can't recall where or when, but I will. There'll be a crew here shortly from headquarters, dusting for fingerprints, taking photographs. But in the meantime, Mrs. Patterson, you aren't leaving the house tonight, are you?
No, Lieutenant.
Don't. I'll talk to you in the morning. Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night, Miss Van Gorder.
Dale, I was with Mark Fleming this afternoon when you talked to him about the floor plans of this house. I heard him tell you he was coming here tonight.
Dale called him at my request. She told me he was coming.
Who else heard her tell you that?
Judy, Lizzie.
And that nice Dr. Wells.
Dr. Wells. There are a few killers who kill for the fun of it. The bat very likely is a mental case, and I'm convinced that his crimes are motivated by his mania for personal gain. There's $1 million at large, and he's going to keep on hunting for it until he lays his hands on it. Now, these young ladies are staying here tonight?
Yes, they're my house guests.
Well, when my crew arrives, we'll be busy for a while, so I'd suggest that
we go to our rooms? That's a very good idea. Come on, girls. What about a police guard for this house tonight, Lieutenant?
You've got one. I'm going to cover this place tonight from the attic to the basement. If the bat makes another call, I'll have a little surprise for him.
Who is he? Have you any idea?
He could be anybody. So far, there are clues to his identity, but nothing we could take before a jury. I'm afraid we must look higher than the criminal world. He may be a merchant, lawyer, doctor, scientist, one of the pillars of his community. Ladies, lock your doors tonight. Stay behind them. I promise you you'll be safe. Good night.
Good night, Lieutenant. Good night.
So young. Well, Doctor, do you agree it was the bat?
In my report, I shall say the death was caused by the same technique used in the other killings. A paralyzing blow to the throat, followed by severe lacerations of the jugular, resulting in excessive hemorrhage.
In a layman's language, he didn't know what hit him.
Oh, he knew. But he didn't have time to think about it. Staying here tonight, Andy?
Well, until I check the doors and windows, but I'll be back bright and early in the morning.
Neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor gloom of night stays these couriers from the swift completion of their appointed rounds.
A lot of people are due for a shock when I close this case.
Yes, I'm sure they are. Good night, Andy. Don't get hurt.
Good night, Doctor.
You know, I think we'd better let you get some sleep.
Oh, well, Lizzie and I share this room for mutual protection. You know, one night, a storm blew the wires down, put the lights out, and I went out the next day and bought a half a dozen of these things. You better take one with you, Dale.
Oh, thank you.
We'll go across the hall now.
Are you sure there's nothing else you need?
Oh, no. Quite sure. We'll be all right.
Well, if anything bothers you, you just sing out, and 2 strong women will come to your rescue.
Oh, nothing will bother us. Not with Andy on the job.
No. Well, good night.
Good night, Miss Van Gorder. See you in the
Don't
morning.
worry, everything will be all right.
We won't. Good night.
Good night.
I don't think I'll sleep tonight. Me neither. All I can see is poor Mark Fleming staring at us. I thought that when people died, their eyes closed, as in sleep. Don't think about it. I'll bet you're thinking about it. No, I was thinking of my poor husband sleeping in jail tonight. Oh, Judy, I love him so much. What's that noise? Oh, I don't know. I kind of fell half asleep. For a moment, I thought it was something from a dream. It's somewhere in the house. Yes, on the floor above. Not directly over us. Probably a room overlooking the driveway.
Should we call Miss Van Gorder? She'll hear it. How can she help but hear it? Oh, besides, we don't want her to think we're a couple of hysterical women.
Well, I'm about to become one.
Dear.
I had it for one night. Dale, you're not going out in that hall.
I want to know what's happening up there.
But Lieutenant Anderson said if we stayed behind our locked doors, we'd be safe.
Vic isn't safe locked up in that jail. Suppose that stolen money is in this house. Mark Fleming seemed to think it was. Maybe that's what somebody's looking for.
For heaven's sake, don't you hear that awful noise up there? Now, Lizzie, you've just got to stay awake. The house phone and the outside phone wires have been cut, and we can't get help.
Where's that policeman?
Oh, I don't know. Something must have happened to him. Now, go on, get on your robe.
Oh, Dale. I just wanted to talk a little bit about a conspiracy theory. Now, if you guys don't know, I love conspiracy theories. I don't necessarily believe all the conspiracy theories. In fact, most of them I probably don't, but I think it's super fun to talk about. I love the evidence that people come up with and just the way, like, it's a sort of creative writing to me, like the way people's minds work. And I have to admit, some of them are like super compelling and I get into it and I'm like, okay, you're going down a weird path, but I can see it. Like, I would never have thought that, but the people get on the internet and they just come up with these ideas. And then there's like, okay, this and this and this. And I can see how people go down these rabbit holes. And speaking of a rabbit hole, I'm going to talk today about one of my favorite conspiracy theories. I hate to say this, but I almost actually tiny little bit believe it. I also think it's ludicrous, but a tiny little bit believe it. So this is, of course, the Paul is dead conspiracy theory, also known as Paul McCartney. It's based on the idea that Paul McCartney from the Beatles really died on November 9th, 1966 at the height of Beatles fame and was replaced by a lookalike. So in the theory, Paul died in a car accident, was decapitated. He'd gotten angry at recording session. He'd fought with the other bandmates. He picked up a hitchhiker named Rita, got in a car accident, all this stuff, and supposedly died. And they kept it really hush hush because the Beatles were at the height of their fame. And this could end their like huge success, would change the band. Even if they replaced him with someone else, then it wouldn't be the original member. Well, it wasn't anyway, but won't get into that. So they replaced him with a man that won a Paul McCartney lookalike contest by the name of William Campbell or Billy Shears, which is mentioned in Beatles lyrics. Now, this guy, I looked it up. Yes, he did win a lookalike contest. I think he worked for the Beatles for a time. More on him in a little bit. So proponents of the theory say that there's clues hidden in the music and album covers. For example, the cover of Abbey Road was supposed to look like a funeral procession. And they have all these like clues on, the different roles that the people played in that funeral procession and why it looked like that. The conspiracy theory was originally started by a Detroit area DJ when he played the Beatles' White Album backwards. And according to the theory, it really caught on. Like, this theory really caught on with a lot of people. And when I was looking at it, there is a website that is dedicated to showing that it is in fact true. And it goes into some detail. So to be honest, some of it's a little compelling. For example, the website that does this deep dive shows facial comparison photos of Paul before and after 1966. So they would show like comparisons like side by side, like of him and then other Beatles members too, like John Lennon and Ringo and stuff, or maybe it was George. Anyway, they show their faces and their faces obviously changed over time as they aged, but their features were still the same. Like, they would put like the grids over their show that like their features would line up. They were on the same level with each other. Their basically the shape of their face would line up. And for Paul's, they show that they're different over time, and the comparisons the overlay don't match between those from before 1966 and after. They also claim that the double underwent plastic surgery to look more like Paul. So even though he was supposed to resemble Paul a lot, they were like, okay, he could look more like Paul to really sell it. So they did plastic surgery on him. And the website claims that after 1966, Paul appears to be several inches taller than John Lennon, whereas prior to that, they were roughly the same height. And comparisons with Paul McCartney focus on the ears, nose, chin, and the entire shape of his face and like head shape. And they also claim that he has a different eye color. There's also a claim that photos from shortly after the supposed car accident show like surgery scars near the eyes of the new Paul McCartney, maybe some other surgery scars too. And the people that believe in this theory cite this replacement as the reason the Beatles stopped touring and shortly after that started growing out their beards, because it's a lot easier to disguise themselves and like the change with a beard, like you can kind of hide behind it. So Paul has obviously denied these claims and even kind of laughed them off, and I can see why. I'll admit I only did like a really cursory search, but I couldn't find out what had happened to the real William Campbell and if he's alive or what he's up to. And if he did not in fact replace Paul McCartney, then I feel like him coming forward would be an easy way to disprove it. So if he's still around or we had any like information on what happened to him, I feel like it'd be really easy to say, hey, this clearly isn't true. There's also was a time where Paul McCartney took a paternity test. A woman had claimed that he was her father from way back in the day. And he took a test and it came back negative. Now, some people have said he sent in somebody else to do the test for him. But I was thinking if it was in fact true that he had died and been replaced, like obviously the replacement would not match the DNA if the father was the original Paul McCartney. So if he just do a DNA test to match to like known relatives, that would clear it up. That would be a super easy way to clear it up. And this theory could be laid to rest. I know it's pretty wacky theory. I know a lot of people have heard of it, but it's something I wanted to talk about because it's one of my like little pet conspiracy theories that I love talking about. And I love talking to people who are actually really into it because, like I said, I don't exactly believe it, but it's fun and interesting to me to listen to it and see what people think. So I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Paul was replaced by a lookalike? Do you think he's really dead? Do we have the real Paul McCartney?
Put on your robe. Oh, Dale, please don't go up there. I've got to. Think what it could mean to Vic. Now, you stay here. Oh, no. If you go, I go. Alone. You wait here. I'm going to see what it is. Oh, please let me go with you. Judy, will you warn me if anyone comes? I'll only be a moment. Now, wait.
give her to me. I'll look after her. Poor baby.
Judy. The bat.
Yes, the bat. He caught her at the head of the stairs. We saw him rushing down the stairs as we came out of the room. I hurled that after him. I hit him, I believe. I'm going to cover this place from attic to basement, you said. Well, what were you covering when that poor child was murdered? Where were you?
I saw a man outside in the grounds. I went out there and hunted him. I heard him in among the trees, and so I followed the sound of him as far as the brook down near the back road. And then I lost him. I'd rather give my own life than have this happen to Judy. But I told you to stay in your rooms and lock your doors and stay there. What was she doing at the head of those stairs?
That was my fault. They heard a strange noise, heavy pounding in one of the rooms on the 3rd floor. We all heard it.
I wanted to see what it was. Judy, wish she wouldn't let me go out by myself. I made her stay on the balcony.
What about your new butler?
Oh, well, he's in his room, I suppose.
Oh, Mrs. Patterson.
Oh, yes.
Did you know what happened to you?
No, sir, but I heard the screams. I went to call Warner. We have rooms on the same floor, but he wasn't in his room. His bed hasn't been slept in.
If Mrs. Patterson heard the screams, Warner could certainly hear them.
You're quite right, sir. I heard them.
Oh, you did? And where were you?
Outside in the grounds.
Miss Holland has been murdered.
No.
Oh, so you're surprised. Shocked. Well, I've seen better performances. I remember you now. Your name's not Warner. I've got a circular in my office with your picture on it. The Chicago police not so long ago were hunting for you in connection with the robbery.
You're right again, sir. And they found me and they tried me and I proved my innocence and I was acquitted.
That could have been a lucky break. Where were you when this child was killed?
I told you before, sir. Outside.
What were you doing there?
I was following you. I saw you leaving the house, and it seemed that you were hunting someone. I thought you might need some help. Oh, yes, sir. I followed your flashlight down through the trees. Then it disappeared. And then suddenly, as I was staring out into the darkness, I was struck by something on the back of the head. The next thing I knew, I was lying on the ground. I realized I'd been knocked out.
I wish you had been knocked out. But then we'd have found you with your mask still on your face. You were hit here in this house with this poker as you were rushing down those stairs after that child was killed.
Oh, no, sir. You can't pin this on me. I'm not the bat. I've never killed. I couldn't kill. I won't take the rap for this.
Doctor. We have another case for the county coroner. You see, the bat came back. Why did you come back, Doctor?
Well, I had an accident about a mile down the road. The right rear wheel of my car came off, and I plunged into the ditch. This was the nearest house, so I came here to call for help. I thought I'd find you around, Andy.
Physician, heal thyself. You must have been hit by something on the back of your head.
I told you I had an accident.
So you did, Doctor. So you did. I could be wrong. But maybe I'm not. We shall see.
All right, dear, let's start a new chapter. For days, the murders held the headlines. Lieutenant Anderson grilled us and ransacked the house from top to bottom. Warner was not placed under arrest, but his every move was watched. At night, except for a detective on guard in the house.
The police and the reporters left us alone. And on one of those nights, without telling Lizzie or anyone else, I pursued a secret investigation of my own. It was in an empty room on the 3rd floor where we kept our trunks and other things.
Put him up there. It's a bright idea to kill me in my own lab and let people think that I'm the bat. But you had to kill me first. What was it to be, ambush? And clever as you are, you're not smart enough to do that. Nor were you smart enough to find the money, though you came quite close to it. But I know where it is. And when you're dead with that sign pinned on your chest, I'm going to collect it and live happily ever after. He destroyed himself. How true that will be. Well, goodbye, Bat. Here's a serum that will heal you whether you're rabid or not.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Miss Cornelia. Miss Cornelia.
Now, where would she be going at this time of night? Well, land's sake. I never. Oh. Mr. Davenport. Mr. Davenport. Oh, a fine thing. The door unbolted, the chain off, and you asleep on the job. Wait till Lieutenant Anderson hears about this. Come on, wake up. What's the matter with you?
I don't know. My head hurts. My whole body's numb.
Here, take a sip of this. Try to snap out of it. I'll be back in a minute.
So, now that you have seen everything for the conspiracy, Morgan, what are your thoughts? Do you believe it?
No.
Really?
No, I don't. I don't?
Really?
No.
You don't think there's enough
still the same.
evidence to, like, show that that's... But, like, they did the facial thing where they compared features and they didn't line up. Do you think he had, like, some kind of plastic surgery?
No. What I think it was is I think the Beatles decided that they were going to go on a trip to discover themselves. And while they were discovering themselves, they did a lot of drugs, a lot of acid, a lot of stuff while they were in India and when they came back. And I think that changed their facial features drastically.
See?
Yes, literally melted his face.
But, like, all the other ones still look the same and they show that. But then, like, you look at his and, like, his earlobes are different. And, okay, so I saw this photo of, like, William Campbell, and it shows, like a little way his chin is in a certain way. And the older Paul McCartney has the exact same thing. And I was like... And then, you know, whatever happened to William Campbell?
I don't know, and I never really cared to know, I guess. I just
know that... I don't know. I'm not saying I 100% believe it, but I'm not saying I don't believe it either, because there's, like... I mean, faces, like, you don't change, like, your shape of your head.
You're coming from. I do. But he's a man, he could have... Doesn't he have receding hair, anyways?
I don't know.
I thought he had, like, hair... maybe I'm wrong, and I'm trying to think.
To be very honest, he's my least favorite Beatle.
Yes, I was going to say that. Well, I shouldn't say he's my least favorite Beatle. George Harrison's my favorite.
Really?
Yes. And then John.
Okay.
And then Ringo.
Okay.
And then Paul.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paul.
Like,
love you,
George
Paul,
and Paul are both, like...
Mike, who's your favorite?
John.
Aw.
Yeah, John Lennon was always my favorite.
Did you ever hear that conspiracy theory?
What conspiracy theory?
Unless that was something we made up as children to entertain ourselves.
What?
That John Lennon actually didn't die when he was shot.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that one.
Or that was a bodyguard or a doppelganger that was shot so that he could go away.
But I went to the place where he was shot. When I was in New York.
Yes. It's the Drake Hotel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. In the lobby.
Well, I didn't go in the lobby. I went outside. But
I would have went in the lobby and been like, yep. You know exactly why I'm here. Just like half the other population that walks through these doors wants to look at the lobby.
And then I was in Central Park and I stood on that whole, like, Imagine thing. Oh. It was really cool. So I do love the Beatles. Like,
people, did you see that his son finally performed Imagine?
No,
and
that would make me cry.
Lennon swore that he would never perform that song, and he did.
That's cool.
And it gave me the chills.
Yeah, I would cry. I don't know if I could watch that. But I still kind of, like, a little bit believe this conspiracy theory. Like, I have stayed up at night watching it, and I'm like, I don't know.
I think you've been watching too much Get Back. That's what's going on here. We need to listen to it instead of...
All right, so we have settled. Morgan, absolutely not a believer in this. whatsoever. And you know what? I think he should, like as I said in the video, he should take a actual DNA test and match it to known relatives, and that'll prove it.
He's got kids, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he had that one that I was talking about where it came back not his kid.
Yep.
And they were saying he sent in somebody else to take it, but I'm like, if it was just a double, it would have come back not his kid anyway, so they wouldn't have needed to send in somebody else because, you know.
I suppose.
But either way, he should just... Paul McCartney,
Eric Clapton, whose wife did Eric Clapton steal?
I don't know.
The song Layla is about one of their wives that left. I think it was George. I'm sorry, George. Maybe that's why George is my favorite. I don't know. But I think his wife left him for Eric Clapton.
Did he get the clap?
We got the clap.
Anyway, bad joke. Anyway.
Now I want to stroke the furry walls. And I need a Jeffrey.
Yeah, you're definitely going back to that asylum. Anyway, so, yeah, she's not a believer at all. No. I kind of am. I think there's a lot there. So we want to hear what you guys think. Please let us know somehow. Do you think that there's any truth to this or could be true at all? And yeah, go down this rabbit hole with us because I love conspiracy theories. Like, I'm not one of those crazy conspiracy nuts that like believes everyone I read, but there are certain ones.
Have you ever watched interviews with Paul McCartney?
No.
And I'm trying to say this as nicely as I can. But Paul McCartney, and it is good to have a good self-image.
Yeah.
But there are times where it gets a little conceited.
Okay.
I don't see Paul McCartney having a doppelganger.
I mean, but the guy literally won the contest. And you know, I heard that he was the Beatle that got around the most. He had the most, like, supposed children out there.
I think so, yeah.
Like, he was the one that, like, had the most paternity
What if he had
suits.
a twin brother? Did you explore that rabbit hole?
Oh, don't even get me started on that one.
Because, I mean, you could switch them out.
Like that movie, I don't want to give it away, but it was one of my favorite movies. I would just say it, The Prestige.
Yes. Oh, God, that was such a good one.
I, like, obsessively watch that movie all the time. Anyways.
Yes.
The bat.
The bat.
I'm off my crazy conspiracy train and onto the bat, and now we're going to finish it up.
Hurry, will you? It's Lizzie. I'm terribly worried. I can't find Miss Cornelia anywhere, and something's happened to the policeman. I don't know what. Get Warner. Bring him to the drawing room. Tell him we need him. Are you all right now?
Yeah, I'll be all right in a minute. I remember now. I took a drink of wine from that decanter there. Miss Van Gorder told me to help myself.
She wouldn't put nothing in it?
Well, somebody did. Somebody who knew I was on duty here.
Then it was somebody that got Miss Van Gorder. I can't find her anywhere. Upstairs, downstairs, or in the basement. I told the housekeeper to get Warner.
Lieutenant Anderson will want to know about this. Hello. Yeah, this is Davenport at the Oaks. We've got trouble here. Well, for one thing, I was drugged. Yeah. But I must have been knocked out because the maid tells me Miss Van Gorder is missing. Well, you better call Anderson and let him know. He's not at home. Well, where is he? Out on a case? What case? Dr. Wells. What else did they tell you about it?
Oh, hurry, will you? We've got to find Miss Cornelia.
Okay. Lieutenant Anderson is out on a case. Dr. Wells was found dead in a room next to his garage, murdered.
Dr. Wells?
There's something queer about the killing of Wells, but headquarters won't talk about it.
Lizzie, Warner isn't in his room. There's no sign of him anywhere.
And I was supposed to keep an eye on that guy.
Where's Miss Cornelia? That's what I want to know.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say that the chain and the bolt were off of the front door?
I certainly did.
Well, maybe Miss Van Gorder went outside.
Oh, she never would. We better look.
I can't breathe. There's no air.
Miss Cornelia.
Oh, Miss Van
Miss
Gorder.
Cornelia. Miss Cornelia.
Miss Van Gorder.
Look. There's a light in that room on the third floor.
Were you up there tonight?
Well, of course I was, but I turned the lights out before I came downstairs.
And Miss Cornelia might have turned them on again. That's where we're going to look first. Come on.
I'm here. Right here. Come to the mantelpiece.
Here we are, Miss Van Gorder. What do we do now?
Over the mantel, there are 5 panels. Strike it with your hand.
Which panel did you say, Miss Van Gorder?
Oh, I can't. I just can't.
Miss Van Gorder, which panel? We couldn't hear you.
She said strike it. What difference does it make which panel? Strike them all. Look. It's all right now. It's all right, dear. Lizzie's here.
Feeling better?
Yes, much better.
We'll take you to your room.
Oh, no, you won't. I'm going to stay right here. I'm quite all right. Oh, how blessed it is to breathe without an effort. You know, no one knows how sweet the air can taste until someone shuts it off for a moment. That room is just like a box. When the mantelpiece closed, it seemed like all the air was drawn out of it. Look, there it goes again.
Let it close. I can open it from in here. There's a control panel behind this blueprint. Electric motor under the trap door here. Once the door is open, you can keep it that way. I believe that the fireplace in this other room opens the same way. And it does.
I tried to find this, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it was back at this blueprint here. Well, it's quite a setup. Too bad we can't open that safe in the same way. Take an expert to crack this box or a shot of nitro.
Oh, maybe that's what the bat had in mind.
Could be. Seems he's on the prowl tonight.
Miss Van Gorder, Warner has disappeared.
And Dr. Wells has been murdered.
Dr. Wells?
Lieutenant Anderson's on that case right now.
Well, does he know what happened here tonight?
They got word to him. He'll be here any minute.
What's that noise? Miss Van Gorder, the garage is on fire.
Scott, look at that.
Lizzie, put that light out in the other room. Now, where are you going?
To report the fire.
Well, you just stay right here.
But Miss Van Gorder, the garage.
Well, let it burn. You watch the stair. Can't you see that fire was set to get us out of the house?
Out of the house? Were you talking about the...
Yes, I'm talking about the bat. Now that the lights are out, he'll think his trick has worked, and we've gone. He'll be here any minute.
Well, so will Lieutenant Anderson.
I hope so, but the bat will be here first. And he'll kill again if we're in his way. We've got to be as clever as he is.
But you'll be safer downstairs. I'll take care of you.
Well, the others can go, but I'm going to stay right here.
All right, but get out of sight. Let's face it, ladies, and get it over with. Others have seen my face before they died, but I'll have to deny you that pleasure. This would make a good scene for your book, Miss Van Gorder, but I'm afraid you'll never write it.
That is Warner. I could tell.
You misjudged me, Miss Ellen.
Warner!
I don't like being a murder suspect, Miss Van Gorder. I was headed for a plane, but halfway to the airport, I changed my mind and came back. I'm glad that I did.
Why, it's Lieutenant Anderson.
Yes, it was Anderson. He'd discovered the secret of the hidden room and was waiting to get into it and open up the safe. We found the money in it, a little over $1 million in 10s and 20s and 100s. Good old Andy. With all his ill-gotten gains invested in bank stock. It's rather a clever way to hide stolen money. In the open, as it were, and so respectable. But don't try it. No matter how clever you are, you can't hide murder. Well, that's it, Dale. That's the end.
Fun show tonight. It's a good movie. Yeah, like I said, we were all over the place in kind of a good way.
We discussed conspiracy theories. We visited Asylum Cemetery.
Yeah, we talked about the time that Morgan was a sea lion. We're not going to talk about yeah, we showed some of Morgan's unmentionables. We mentioned them even.
You showed them off.
They are cute.
Thank you, but. That's my business.
Well, you wore a funny-looking hat.
Yes, a funny-looking hat. It's not labeled an intimate.
Look at Dilly. He's cute.
Dilly's scandalized. I think he wants to gouge his eyes out. And I don't blame him.
You know, underwear can easily be outerwear if you just put it over your clothes. Have you ever seen a superhero?
Now I feel better, I guess. Feel better. Just, oh yeah. Oh no.
It's totally legit.
I'm waiting for the blowback on this one now. Oh my god.
It'll be fine. It was really cute, and I will just...
That's okay. It was cute. It's cute. It is cute. It is cute. You know, one day these birds are going to migrate south. So, I mean, yeah, you know, you got to have cute to go with the birds, so. Uh-huh.
Why are you hanging on to that axe so tightly? That's your pretty
I shouldn't hold it like that either. I really shouldn't.
It's been a week for sure. Just a little crabby from all the fish.
And the asylum.
And the asylum.
I don't know what they gave me there, but man, I slept good.
Possibly my jokes.
I missed your jokes just a little bit. I did admit that. But that was the topper on the cake.
That?
Yes, that! My underwear. It's my underwear on TV.
That's okay. Nobody watches this.
It's in people's living
know, but I'm pretty sure you're good. Don't get smart with me! It goes under your clothes! Okay, fine, I'll just go invisible again. Oh my God! I'm sorry, that was a joke.
Excuse me. Ooh.
Yeah, we're having fun here tonight.
Good joke.
Good joke.
I can't believe you did that to me, Celeste. Anyway.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, on that note, I'm pretty sure she's gonna be sleepwalking again tonight. And yeah, it was fun for you guys to join us for The Bat. It's an old classic. It's Vincent Price, who obviously, if you've watched any of our shows by now, you know we love. So we have to periodically show Vincent Price.
We do. We love Vincent Price.
And Morgan, as always, we will hex you soon.
There is no place for me.
They look good on everyone. Like,
shoot! Whoop. I just knocked everything over.
It's okay.
Oh my God,
that scared the crap out of me. I think it was my hair.
Oh, it's okay. This thing's been wonky. Are you okay?
Yeah, now I have to post a blooper. Destroying our set.
Way to go, Celeste.
Yeah.